Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and of the like. Thank you for joining in. Welcome all Mandela effectians. Please join us right now as we listen to Theresa Lynch, one of the top Residue hunters, while she shares with us her beautiful awakening story. Please stay tuned as there are more Mandela effects yet to come and more experiences to come. So without further ado, here is Theresa Lynch.
When I post something, I'll be like, hey, do you remember it this way? Like, I'll be like, hey, do you remember We're the Millers, or do you remember Meet the Millers? What do you remember?
What's weird is I looked at that DVD cover myself back in October of like last year, I think. And I was like, that just looks wrong. It was Meet the Millers.
Oh, yeah, and you want to hear something freakier? Brian.
What's that?
When I went to the library yesterday, I walked up to the desk, and there was a guy sitting behind there, and I see him every weekend because I go up and I say hi to him. I said, hey, can I ask you a question? He goes, yeah. I said, do you remember the video that you guys rented out here called Meet the Millers? And he's like, yeah. And I said, because you deal with this stuff all the time. He's like, yeah, it was Meet the Millers. And he goes, yeah. And the guy next to him at his desk says, yeah. I said, do you remember that? He goes, yeah. And I said, guess what it is now? And he goes, what? I said, go look. So he types it on his computer because they have access to the internet. They sit at a computer. They can do whatever they want. He types it in there and he goes, he looks at it and he's looking and he looks perplexed. Perplexed? How do you say that word? Perplexed? And he said, it says We're the Millers. And I said, yeah, don't it? I said, go try to find the other one. And he's looking. I said, go look in your database, because they have a thing where when you request a movie, they have the databases for all the movies. He goes in there and starts looking. I said, you can't find it, can you? And he shakes his head and he's like, I said, do you believe me? And he just looks at me like a deer in the headlights. Like he's confused. I said, you can't find it, can you? He's like, no. And I said, let me show you some Residue. I said, look at my phone. I started showing him posts from Meet the Millers. I said, look at this one. Remember the one that I found that had like the dress and it was talking about Meet the Millers?
Yeah.
I said, what does that say? And he goes, Meet the Millers. And I said, do you believe me now? And he shook his head. I think he was in shock.
He
was in fucking shock.
I know. Did you tell him about the Mandela effect?
Yes. I told him to check out the Facebook group. I said, go and check about the Mandela effect. I said, this stuff, listen to me. I look at him and I go, this stuff is very real. Do you remember the Monopoly Man? And he goes, yeah. And I said, do you remember the monocle? And he goes, yeah. And I looked at him and I said, never existed. And he just like looked at me like they're in shock. And I think that's why people don't want to hear about it. Because what happens when you tell somebody that their perfect little bubble, everything that they've known is wrong. It's kind of like the Matrix. You know when the guy says, this is really what you're seeing? And you know how you're seeing a perfect life? The Matrix? And all of a sudden you see the truth? That's exactly what's happening. When we wake people up, we're turning off their reality, and it goes from being beautiful colors to being black. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly what we're doing. And I wonder if people are going to wake up because this Mandela effect, oh my God, Brian, it's ramping up. Even Moneybags, last time when he was showing stuff, he even said that it's increasing. It's getting bad, Brian. It's going to get worse. It's going to get so bad that name changes that we know that are changing, that we're seeing, it's going to start filtering into other stuff that's going to be huge. We're going to wake up one morning and you're going to walk outside and the pool that you knew where it was at is going to be moved. You just watch. It's going to get worse. Your pool that you know where it's located at is going to be moved a half a block or something.
Damn.
I have the feeling that it's going to get worse. It's going to get so bad that I don't think people are going to be able to deny it. I'm not even kidding. What are you gonna do? You wake up one morning. Okay, what color is your car? What color is your car?
White.
Right? Huh?
White.
Okay, you're gonna wake up one morning and your car is gonna be black. How are you going to feel? How are you going to explain that to somebody? Oh, yeah, my car is white. Now look at it, it's black. How are you going to physically explain that to somebody? Huh?
I don't know. There's no explanation for it.
And only you know the truth. The only way that the Mandela effect is going to affect anybody is when it affects them. My boss drives a black car, and I know his favorite color is black. How do you think he's going to feel when he wakes up and his car is a completely different color? You think he's going to remember, hey, my car is black, and now it's white? That's what I'm wondering. What's it going to take, Brian, to wake people up? What's it going to take? It's going to take a big Mandela effect. And this Ed O'Neill is huge. And I don't know. I want to hunt for residue for that. It's going to take a huge effect. It's going to take a huge effect to wake people up. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, people that aren't awake now, and they get hit really hard with something big, it's going to snap them right out. Just watch. You know what I mean? Do you get that? And the guy at the library, oh my God, you should have seen his face. I'm like, it was Meet the Millers, right? And he shook his head, and I was like, go look, you know. And I'm standing there, and I'm not forcing it on him. I'm like, go look on your own. He goes, look, and he's like, huh? What? And the other guy's looking at him, and the guy next to him at the other computer goes, and he's like, you know what? It was Meet the Millers. I'm like, you guys see these movies all day. You see these movies. You guys rent out these movies. It's a shame that my poor boss / friend who hasn't talked to me in over 2 days, I don't know what his problem is. It's a shame that he doesn't see any of this, and all he does is ridicule me. And I feel bad. I wish he would wake up, and I have no way to wake him up. I've tried to wake him up. And some people, Brian, they do not want to be woken up. They don't. And I feel bad for them. They don't know what they're missing. I mean, yeah, the Mandela effect is hard. I mean, I tell people in my Facebook group, you know, I tell them, I said, well, you know, we're here for support. We understand, you know, this is shocking to you. These brand new effects to them that we've already gone through. It's shocking to them. I mean, I've gone through all the stages. I've gone through the shock stage, the denial stage, the stage where you want to know. And that's actually between, you know, Brian, between you and me.
Yeah.
Do you know that's what led me to be a residue hunter? And I mean, when I've done interviews with other people, and even from the other channels, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I explained to them, I said, that's what led me to be a residue hunter. It was the strong feeling of wanting to know what happened to the truth, what happened to the proof. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. I know there were sketches. I know there was a key. The key had to be there. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go look for proof. Not even knowing when I'm going to look for proof, Brian, that that's what they call residue. I never even knew what the word residue meant. I've never even heard of the word residue. Did you see the sign? The sign?
Yeah.
That I sent you? That's an act. Why would a store, listen to this, why would a store have a sign with the sketches at the key? Why would the store even bother making a sign with their own money and time with a key if it didn't exist?
I know.
Right?
And JCPenney gets me every time.
Yeah, and here's the proof too for that one. I can even tell you how that one's proof. Sometimes when I can pay my bill, or next weekend, I mean, it's not due the 28th, so I technically, that was the only bill that I didn't pay at the mall was JCPenney. Every time I go there, sometimes they have signs hanging up with sales, and it'll say, save a penny, you know, JCPenney.
Yeah.
And you'll see picture with Lincoln, you know, Lincoln?
Yeah.
There'll be a sign with pennies. Now, this is really what's going to be the proof. You'll see a sign with pennies all over a sign, and it'll be like, save a penny at JCPenney. Why would they be putting pennies on a sign with JCPenney and call it PENNEY? Think about that. right? It's not going to be JC Save a Penny with JC Penney. It's Save Pennies with JC Penney. That's why it was called. That's why who came up with the marketing with the pennies, because his name was JC Penney, not JC Penney. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Hey, and how about the robots?
What robots?
Hey, you knocked my block off.
Yeah, that.
Hey, my block is knocked off.
Plenty of residue for that. I don't know, Brian, about why the Mandela is happening. There's several reasons why it could be happening. Everybody's got their own belief on why it's happening. You know, CERN, time traveling, the Bible. Maybe this is prophecy coming true. Maybe there is some kind of fight between good and evil, and God is letting the devil have his reign on earth. Maybe that's what's happening. There's a spiritual battle going on that we can't see. And also another thing that I feel, you want to know another thing that I feel, Brian?
Yeah.
I feel that our veil is lifting. The veil between us and the other world.
You remember in the Bible how it talks about God sending a powerful delusion?
That's it.
That's in the Bible.
Yes, the division. And that's what's happening between people. He's dividing the community. I'm being divided against you know who and you know who and you know who. And I can feel it happening. It's happening to all of us.
I don't like it.
The division is being divided. I've been having a lot of weird stuff happen to me over the weekend. Some lady, you know, where I was eating at, remember I told you the whole story? Minding my own business, and my own business. And I'm like, I think I'm being tested. I think Satan is testing all of us. He's trying to get inside of our minds. He's trying to get inside of our souls. He's using any kind of method and tricks that he can use to make us act out in a manner that we normally don't act out in. And these people where I eat at El Polo Loco know me every weekend from coming in there, using my coupon and getting food. I'm nice to everybody there. I'm not once been rude to anybody there. I come in, hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. I get my food, I go sit down in my own business and eat. For some reason, Saturday, I was being tested, and they were like shocked. And I'm like looking at them like, this lady's starting trouble with me. And it's like, she's literally in my face. And I'm like, I don't need this. I think God I had already ate, and I was just going back up to get my churros to go. I'm like, I don't need this. And I'm walking down the sidewalk to go to my bus stop. And I'm like, God, am I being tested? Is this a test? Because I can't deal with this division stuff going on. I've had enough with the other stuff going on to do with my group of me being tested. I love my group, Brian. I love my group so much. I love all my members. I don't want anything bad happening in there. You know? I don't want anything bad happening. I don't want people in there that are no longer in there now to make my members want to leave because of how they were acting. I don't want to lose any of my members, and people are going to leave because of the testing that we're having done and the way people are acting. And you know what I mean? Even my friend, like I said, my non-Mandela friend, hasn't spoke to me in over 2 days. And that's not like him. He normally texts me every day. Hey, how you doing? What you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Where you running to? I haven't heard from him in over 2 days. There's something evil. There's something evil going on, Brian. My view is this. If something happens to you, there's a reason why you need to just leave it be and just don't talk to them. Before I got the Mandela effect, and the only way I can explain this to you is leading up to waking up. I would say probably a year before I woke up, I had this very, very strange feeling that something was going to happen. I was like, and I knew all these years, me being alive and, you know, going through my life up to this point, that, yeah, sure, everything was happy and blah, 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 and very blissful. But I felt like all these years I was missing out on something. There was something that was not being shown to me. And I could not put my finger on it. And I would say probably about a month before I woke up, I started looking at things differently. And this is really going to blow you away. My non-Mandela friend / boss.
Yeah.
We were constantly talking about how we were hearing, and this is what he doesn't remember, that he remembered talking to me about this. And I can't remember, and I don't know why he doesn't want to admit that he told me about this. But months before I woke up in 2016, he admitted to me that his ears were ringing, and he didn't know why.
Wait, who?
My non-Mandela boss, the one that doesn't believe in it, had admitted to me, he admitted to me that his ears were ringing, because I would call him and I'd be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Were your ears ringing? And he's like, yeah. And I said, so are mine. We went back and forth for the longest time with our ears ringing. And as it got closer to me waking up, I would literally be walking around outside, looking up at the sky, and everything did not look clear. It looked like, what's the word? Do you know what pixelated means?
What means?
Pixelated.
Yeah.
I was looking up at the sky, and I'm looking around. Now remember, this is before I woke up, like about a month before I woke up. I would be looking up at the sky, Brian, and I knew, I'm looking around, I'm like, why does everything look off? Everything looks off to me. It just felt, God, how do I explain this? I felt like I was walking around in a dreamscape. Do you know what jet lag is?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how when you fly and you get to where you're going, your body is there, but your mind has not caught up with you yet? I mean, you know you're physically there, but you don't feel like you're all together, like the rest of you hasn't caught up with you yet?
Yeah.
That's how I felt before I woke up. I felt like I was in a car wash. This is the only way that I can explain this. I felt like I was in a car wash with a car, and you know when you're going through and you have the water sloshing on you, and you see everything around you going on, and it's not clear?
Yeah.
A car wash? That's what I felt like. I felt like I was going through a car wash, and things around me were not right. They were not clear. They weren't defined. They were not real. Everything around me felt fake. I felt like I was being watched, that people around me were watching me. Now remember, this is I didn't even know what the heck the Mandela effect was. I've never heard about it until I woke up. I've never even heard about it. I didn't even know what a Mandela effect was. I felt that people were watching me, and I felt like, I wasn't being paranoid, but I felt like I did not belong. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I didn't feel like I belonged. I'd be looking around, like looking at people like, why do I feel off? I don't feel like I belong with these people. I don't feel like I should be here. This is not where I'm supposed to be. And the more that I looked around, I said, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong. And then when I finally was looking at Facebook one day, that day of my day of my awakening, I saw Facebook and I said, I'm looking at it going, why is somebody posting something about Skechers? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's spelled wrong. And it was like a light went off in my head. And I'm like, a light went off and I'm like, wow, do you know what? Skechers is not spelled like that. It's not spelled like that. And my curiosity, I said, you know what? I'm going to go look in my closet. And when I went and looked in my closet, I took my shoes down. I had been wearing them. I wear them almost every other day. I took them down and I said, let me go look at my shoes. I take my shoes down. I started looking at them. I look again. I'm like, why is this spelled wrong? I'm like, that's not how it's spelled. And I'm like, oh my God. And that's when I had my awakening. I'm like, there's something wrong. And after that, right after my initial awakening of being shocked, everything else fell in place. I started seeing everything that was wrong. It was like my eyes were like wide open. Does that make sense?
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say wide open.
I was wide open, and everything around me, I started noticing everything. I went to the shopping center. I'm looking at the cereal going, oh my God, have I been seeing Fruit Loops all these years spelled wrong? And it's like, I think once a person is awoke, you cannot, like Tom used to say, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And all these people that I wake up, I think now that they've been awake, they're going to notice everything around them. And having the Mandela effect, sure, it's hard. Sure, it's stressful. I've lost so much sleep over it. Some other crazy stuff going on with it that I've never felt so much alive and real since I woke up. I never felt so real. It's a blessing, but it's a curse. Does that make sense?
Yes, that is such an amazing story.
It's an amazing awakening, and I think for somebody to say they don't want to wake up, they don't know what they're missing. I'm more spiritual now. I'm more closer to God. I talk to Him more. It's changed my life. My asthma. Get this, Brian. My asthma has completely disappeared. I can walk down the street and not be out of breath. I used to be like, going up my steps. It changed my health, having the Mandela effect. It's made me see things clearer. It's like it's opened up all new doors to something different. Does that make sense?
Yes, I noticed too. My breathing has been affected.
My breathing's actually better now. And how can a person that's asleep deny all the body changes? How can you not know the body changes? Especially if you're a nurse or you're a doctor. You know, a lot of them are not affected. But like I said, we've had an interview with a nurse that I interviewed. You remember that interview with a nurse? She knew for every single body part. Everything. We knew for everything. The only thing I think I did not talk about was the HIPAA thing, the HIPPA. And I've got plenty of residue for that one. It's like a lot of residue on that. How can people not deny these things going wrong? And I think as time goes by, now that the Mandela effects are ramping up, I mean, you see them happening, right, Brian?
Yeah, all the time.
You see the effects, they're ramping up. People are going to have to wake up when you're going to get an effect that is so big that it's going to knock somebody off their butt. I guess I can say that word, butt. And there's going to be no way that they're going to be able to deny that it's real. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to take a huge enemy that there's no denying it. And I think we're in for another wave of people coming. This effect has been coming in waves. 2016, everybody that I spoke to, most everybody that I spoke to has woken up sometime in October, in 2016. One of those months.
Yeah, it exploded probably in the middle of 2016. I feel like it happened middle of 2015. That's when everybody started searching for it online.
Yeah, and you can see the pattern.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking of doing? I'm thinking in my group, I don't know, this is a good idea. I want to do like another poll of my own. I want people to tell me what year did they wake up in. I want to get like a poll and find out to see what the majority is going to be, and go from there. I think we're in for another huge, big awakening. I think there's going to be a lot more people in my group that are going to be brand new and going to get new members in. And that's another reason why for my group is having effects that are not just brand new effects coming in. We still have to keep with the older effects because people who are waking up are not going to even know about the new effects. They're going to remember the old effects also. And that's why it's important for this group to have old effects and new effects. We can't forget about the new people.
Yeah, and not only that, with the older effects, Theresa, the older effects seem to get affected multiple times.
Yes. They get hit the most, the older effects. I mean, look at Mona Lisa. How many different changes is Mona Lisa?
Well, let's see, there's a smile. She's now smiling. She's got the veil on her head. And now there's a stinking bridge on her head.
Got her arm on the chair now.
Yeah, her arm's on the chair.
The chair. What else? She did the veil. The smile. The background has changed.
Yeah, the background now has a small little bridge on the right-hand side that wasn't there.
Yeah. And I think it's good. I think the changes are going to come on more. Look at the Statue of Liberty. How many different changes do we have? We have the gold flame, which is now gold. We have the scratches on her neck, which is the scratches. We have her fingertips being dark, like a couple of her fingertips got like dark. They look like she was fingerprinted. We have where the butt is going up and down, like from holding it near her breast area to down further on her waist. That's changed. We have it that you couldn't go up to the torch, but yet people have their stories. They've been up to the torch. There's stories all over the internet. You can find them. And now they're saying because it's a blacktop explosion. I never heard of a blacktop explosion in my life. I would have learned that in history. Never did I ever hear about blacktop explosion or whatever it's called, blacktop explosion. And now they're saying that you can never go up to the torch. And then it being on, and it was on Ellis Island. And now it's on Liberty Island, which it also had been named Bedlow in the past, and I don't know if that had to do with when it first came over, that Bedlow was a name that they used many years ago, like way back then, and then they changed it to Liberty. But people remember the Statue of Liberty being on Ellis Island. That's gone through a lot of changes. What's some other effects that's got a lot of changes?
Oh, there's plenty of geography. South America is a big one for a lot of folks.
Yes. That's moved. Was it shifted to the right or the left?
To the right.
To the right. And it's not lining up. There's been a lot of geography changes. And I mean, like you and me, we've seen so many logo changes. I've experienced things change in real time. Like tons of real times I've seen things change in front of me. I've had so much paranormal experiences since I woke up. I've never had a paranormal experience in my lifetime until I woke up. They're all tied in together. The paranormal, when I talk to other people, in the group, I talk to certain people, on my DM messaging, they asked me the other day, they said, have you ever had any paranormal experiences? And I'm like, yeah, have you? And they're like, yeah. And that's one of the members of my group that I talk to. I think it's one of the admins or moderators. I said, are you serious? She says, yeah. I've had so much paranormal happen to me. And I said, it's all tied in to do with the Mandela effect. And I'm wondering, all these new people who are waking up, are they going to go through paranormal experiences too? You had it happen to use your faucet, remember?
Yeah.
What about your faucet?
Well, the thing is with the faucet, both the heads changed. I called the apartment complex, and actually that's not a Mandela.
Oh.
Yeah, they changed them out because they've had water pressure issues, and they've had to replace a lot of piping because of it. No, that's not a Emmy, but it did shock me. It shocked the crap out of me whenever I noticed it.
Well, they should have said something.
I know, they should have made an announcement or something. you guys should let people know because they might confuse it for a Mandela effect.
Yes. Yes. And that's another thing to do with the logos. Whenever you do videos, Brian, and I help you find Residue, what's the first thing you do? We go check Wikipedia or Logopedia, right?
Right. Logopedia's been a big help in the Mandela effect.
It has been. But a lot of these logo changes are real. A lot of them are real. I mean, I'm sure there's been times you've debunked logos, right?
Yeah, I found a couple times where we caught the Mandela red-handed.
Right. So we can't say that every logo change is going to be a Mandela effect, and that's why it's important for you and I to research this and make sure before it's and I mean, this time you've done videos and you say, oh, this is a possible Mandela effect. And I've gone in my group, and when I post stuff, I've said, oh, this could be a possible Mandela effect, and I'll put like a question mark. And that's why I try to explain to you, when I'm in my group and I'm answering people, I'm not going to argue with them. If they remember something, Brian, one way, that's fine. You and I, we disagreed on things like the Oompa Loompa thing. Remember the other day? I didn't argue with you. You remembered. Oompa Loompa, and then you say, I got another puzzle for you. I remember Riddle. But am I telling you you're wrong? No. I'm not arguing with you, am I?
No, but it could sound, I mean, there's residue for Riddle. That's the thing. It's so weird.
And for a puzzle.
For me, it was puzzle. For you, it's Riddle. You know, it's like tomato. To me, you know, it's fine either way.
Yeah, and I'm not arguing with you. And that's the point about my group, is I'm not going to be arguing with people, and I haven't been arguing with people. And
people in fact, they love your group, Theresa.
And it upsets me because we have people that are no longer in there that don't see that I'm not arguing with people, but yet I'm being accused that I'm arguing with people. I have people doing if you go in my group, you see multiple testimonials. Is that the word, testimonials?
Testimonials, yes.
I have testimonials in my group that say how great a job that I'm doing, how great a job the admins are doing, that the moderators are doing. I have not had one person in my group ever say anything bad about me. And I want everyone to hear that. Not one person has ever said anything bad about me. So how can I be accused about saying something bad about somebody in the group? I'm not once cussed in my group. I will not even say a bad word in my group. That is one thing that I do not tolerate in the group, is people cussing and belittling people.
Right.
And we do have people in there that have their own opinions. I understand that. But when you get to the point where you tell the person, no, you're wrong, I'm right, that is where I draw the line. Yes, you'll be like, okay, I remember it this way, and you remember it that way. And we'll leave it like that. But I will not go in and belittle somebody because they remember this way, and I remember that way. And not once have I said to you, Brian, you're wrong. I'll just be like, hey, I remember it this way. Right, Brian? And you'll be like, oh, I remember it that way.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it like that.
Well, that's good policy. It's not like good policy, but it's common sense. And what do you call that? It's good ethic. You have good ethics, Theresa. Thank you.
And other groups, other Mandela groups, everybody runs all the Mandela effect groups out there. How many would you think there are out there right now, Brian? How many groups would you say?
Oh, there's probably thousands, hundreds, or if not thousands groups.
Mandela effects?
Yeah.
And I belong to plenty, trust me. Before I even started this group, I belong to plenty. I've gone in the groups where I try to post like an older effect, like say for example, Luke, I'm your father. I've gone in there and found residue that was new to me, brand new residue on an old effect. And what happens when I go in the group? I get yelled at. I get scolded. Oh, we've already done this. This has already been covered. And then I get scolded. And I'm like, oh, they get mad at you, and it's like they treat you like a child. It's like they're slapping your hand, like, no, you can't post that. And I said, you know what? It's time for me to get a group that's going to be completely different than the other groups.
Yes, and that, believe it or not, that's exactly how I felt about my channel. I wanted to have a channel where people could come together peacefully, and that's the key word, and talk about the effect in scientific ways, in religious ways, in whatever way possible to explain the Mandela effect, psychological, whatever the case may be.
We have all kinds of members from all areas all over the world. You have all different kind of religions. You have people with different beliefs. You even have people that believe in the flat earth. I have nothing against flat earthers. If they want to talk about flat earth in my group, they can. I don't know how it's going to come across, but it's not normally a subject that's brought up in my group. I mean, I'm not going to slap them on the hand and say, oh, you can't talk about flat earth. There might be some discussions going on there about it, but I've never seen anybody really bring it up. But I'm not going to turn around and say to the person, I mean, we have a guest on your show that comes on sometimes. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I have not once told her that she was wrong for believing in that, and you knew what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
I've not once said to her, no, there is no such thing as flat earth. There's only around her. I've not once came out and told her she was wrong. I will not do that, because I respect her beliefs.
That's right. That's right. That's
and
the
that's why
important
I'm
thing.
in my group. If you want to believe
Just look at
the sky is purple, that's your business.
Just look at the dress. The one picture that throws everybody off of what color the dress is, or what two colors. For you, it's white and gold. For me, it's blue and black.
Yes.
It's so freaking weird that we're different, but we're from the same reality.
Because here's the thing. The way that I was explained is because you are on a different, vibration, or is it vibration?
Frequency or vibration? Yeah.
Frequency. You are operating at a different frequency than I am. And that's why you're observing it differently than me.
Exactly, and that's the point. We have to embrace the effect.
Right.
It is definitely a phenomenon. We cannot cross that out. No matter how much we try, we cannot forget where we came from, and we cannot forget where we're going. Because
you know what? I'm not gonna have anybody erase my memories. Different people are going to see different ways. We might have the way that I understand talking to one of the members, she was on the other night, on Friday night. I think we're operating right now at maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 different realities right now. They are crossing, and I remember watching a video a couple months back. That boy, oh gosh, I wish you could get him on the show. He's a very intelligent boy. He's like I think he's very young. I think he's a teenager.
Yeah.
He explained that what happened is that we have one single line that's branching off, and we're in the branches. The branching, we're seeing all these branches coming together, and what's happening is the branch that we're in now is all the branches are like combining themselves. And that's why we're seeing this branch with this memory, we're seeing this branch with this memory, and we're seeing this branch with this memory. The timelines are being streamed together. Does that make sense?
it makes perfect sense. Yeah, what it seems. I think of the paths as like in Fruit Loops, right?
Yeah.
There's actually 4 loops, and yes, there are 4 different colors. And notice how they come together. You know, it forms. Honestly, if you look at it, the number 88 is very significant. I'm not sure what 88 means. It could mean infinity in both directions. It could mean that there are 4 circles or 4 loops of reality coming together, making an 88 or a cube.
Yeah.
There's something to do with this cube. The black cube is worshipped heavily in the Middle East, and I'm not sure why. But again, that's a research for a different topic. And we have Saturn and Sun worship too, going on with a lot of these effects, it seems.
Oh, it seems like another thing logos of the RA, and that has to do with the sun gone. Maybe that's like a message telling us that our sun, which is now white.
Yeah, it's a white dwarf now.
Yeah, maybe that is a subtle way of telling us through the RA that, hey, this sun is not real. It's like a message.
Do you ever wonder if the video feeds from NASA are actual CGI images, or are they real? You know, you have to wonder if they're real or if they're CGI.
I don't think they're real. The more that I look at the sun, the more I look at it and I'm like, that's not real. I don't remember that sun.
Yeah.
And I've even spoken to a few people when I get off the bus. You know, like the other day, there was a girl that got off the bus, and it was even more girl, Ryan, yesterday. Do you know her birthday was one day earlier than mine?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I got off the bus yesterday, and I said to her, and I said, hey, I said, I bet you're a Scorpio, aren't you? And she goes, yeah, how did you know? And I said, I don't know, I felt it. I just felt that you're a Scorpio. And she goes, oh my God. I said, do you feel the same thing about me? And she's like, yeah. And I said, I'm November 12th. And you know what she said? She's November 11th.
Oh my God, 11/11.
Yeah. That is one thing I wanted to tell you, because that blew my mind, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, look at the sun. I said, does it look different to you? And she goes, and she's not even affected. And I said, do you remember it ever being bright white like this? And she's like, no. She goes, it's never been bright white. She said, it's supposed to be yellow. And we spoke for a few minutes, and then she went across the street, you know, to get to her home, because she was across the street on the other side in some other apartment. And I thought it was bizarre that I ran into somebody with the birthday 11/11. And I thought that was a really strange sign for me. And she had a red shirt on. My hair, yeah. Yeah. Isn't that weird how I ran into somebody with 11/11?
That is weird.
And speaking of triple numbers and all those numbers running together, I've been seeing a lot of numbers everywhere that are like triple. I've been seeing 111, 222, 333. Sometimes I'll see 777. The majority of numbers that I've been running into has been the 3s and the 1s and the 2s. Is that like a phenomenon? Like phenomenon?
These triples are definitely something going on there. But I wanted to mention too, did you know that Ra, or radium, is the 88th element on the periodic table?
No way.
I'm dead serious. Yeah. So maybe the key is radium. I don't know. Maybe they're using radium to influence our reality or something. I don't know. I'm just in theory.
Is that the 8 infinity? Where you take an 8?
Yes.
And you lay it on its side?
Lay it on its side. It's infinity in the negative direction and infinity in the positive direction.
Maybe that has to do with the positive that is going and balancing out with the negative because of all these negative things happening.
Right. Well, we know that with any evil that comes about, you know, God always sends somebody to make good, to right the wrong. You know, it's all throughout history. You can always find wrong going on, and then there's always somebody righteous with God who will fix the iniquities, you know?
Yeah. And the Bible changes, Brian, oh my gosh. I don't know much about them. I mean, like I said, you have, you know, the girl that comes on every week. Well, she wasn't there Friday. But we have people who are specialized in the Bible changes. And we've seen them happening. And why is God letting it happen? That's what I want to know. Why is he letting the Bible be rewritten slowly?
It's a curious thing, but you know, it's hard to ask. Like, it's like asking your dad, okay, like, why do you do this? You know, and he's going to tell you because I said so. You know, or something like that. He's not going to give you the exact answer you're wanting. You know, the answer is, for me, that we need to stick together. We need to find out what's going on. It's a phenomenon. personal truth too. You know, don't you know?
Maybe we're supposed to learn from this, Brian. Maybe this Mandela effect is supposed to teach us something.
Teresa, thank you for coming on today and letting me do this interview with you. And you know, you're really awesome. And everybody,
I love residue hunting. I love residue hunting. I will continue doing my residue hunting. I do it every day. I spend hours upon hours hunting residue. And you know what, Brian? That is my spiritual path that I have been led to do. I want you to know that. That is something that I feel very strong in my heart that I'm supposed to be doing for everybody.
Yep.
It's a gift. It's a gift that has been given to me, and I'm using it wisely to everybody.
You're giving it back to the community because it's such a powerful thing to realize that things are in fact changing and that it can kind of shake your whole reality, your whole thinking of everything, and your whole perspective shifts. And it's like you said, that deer in the headlights, you know, kind of thing. It's a state of shock. You're not really sure what to do. You don't know where to turn to, but at least your group welcomes all those people. So I want to thank you again.
I want people in my group to know that they have the support of me. They have the support of all the moderators, right, Brian?
Yep.
They have the support of all the admins. And anybody who ever, you know, feels that they need residue found, I have no problem finding residue for you. If you be like, hey, Theresa, can you find this? Can you find that? I get right on it as soon as I can. If I'm at work, of course I can't do anything because I'm at work. I can't really do what I need to do. But as soon as I'm away from work, I will find the residue for you so that you can say, I remember that way. I remember it that way. The stovetop stuffing. Oh my God, Brian. My mother, the more that I think about this, you're bringing back memories for me, Brian. My parents, every year we'd have Thanksgiving, and my mother used to slave over the stove and cook huge meals just for the three of us. She made that.
Yeah.
My mother made stovetop stuffing. And it's like, why are they messing with our memories? They know affected people are going to remember this. There's no denying it. And it's like they're trying to trick us. And then they try to give you upgrades.
I know. The upgrades are basically trying to make you forget. You know,
they're trying to sway you. And we don't know how strong that us Mandela effect people are. We are all affected. We all have our old memories. And they're trying their hardest to try to change us. It's not going to work, AI, or whoever's doing this. It's not going to work. I just want, if they're listening, I want them to know that they are not going to take my memories away from me, no matter what. And therefore, I will keep hunting and hunting and hunting and finding this residue to prove that, yes, it did exist.
Well, thank you, Theresa, for coming on, and we definitely appreciate all the hard work you're doing.
You're welcome, Brian.
You know, me personally, you don't know how much I appreciate you, all what you do, not just for my channel, but for your group as well. And you and I, we met through another Facebook group dealing with the effect. So, I mean, you're so awesome, you know?
Thank you so much. And I love you too, Brian. You're awesome. I don't know, you're like my right hand.
Oh, thanks.
And we go together. We're like a team. And if anybody wants to know what team means, you know, like teamwork, it's together, everyone achieves more.
That's right.
TEAM.
We're a team.
And yeah, we have a great group.
And not just you and me, but everybody who helps with the Mandela Effect community is really amazing too. Including Cynthia Sue Larson, who plays a big part. She's in your group as well.
I want to thank her for being in my group, and thank her for being a part of the family.
Yep.
And her contribution with all her she travels everywhere to do conferences to wake people up and educate them on the effects and the quantum and everything. And if it wasn't for her with the community, I don't know. I mean, she's out there, and people need to listen to her as well and learn more about this effect. This is huge. It's gonna be so huge. This Mandela effect is gonna get bigger as the effects come in day by day. They're getting a lot of them, Brian. And you and I, we're having a hard time. I mean, I'm resident hunting, and it's like, oh, here's another effect. I'm still resident doing the other one.
Well, thank you, Theresa, and thank you guys for watching. Have a great Mandela Effect day. God bless.